Welcome to Light Data Action, the podcast that's on a mission to help you discover new technology trends and tools and better understand how they affect the world around us. I'm your host, Terry Barbounis, and in each episode, I'll speak with industry executives and thought leaders to discuss how these technologies change the way we do business and how you can stay ahead of the innovation. If you're ready, let's join the conversation. Hey everybody, I'm Terry Barbounis, Director of Innovation Strategy within Lumen's Product Innovation and R&D team, and the host of Light Data Action, Lumen's Thought Leadership Podcast. This week, we've been on the road in San Francisco at the 2023 Game Developers Conference, and what a week it's been. We've had the opportunity to talk to customers and partners about everything from metaverse and AI to security and the importance of having the right network and infrastructure for enabling the gaming industry. Today I'm joined by Ashley Habros, Account Manager within Lumen's Gaming Practice, and Erec, Fink, Senior Director of Gaming, Media, and Entertainment for Lumen. We're going to do a wrap-up for this exciting week. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Doing great.
How has the week been for you guys? Ashley, I know you've walked around, talked to a lot of vendors, a lot of customers. What's your take?
Yeah, it's been great. I think, this was a great opportunity for Lumen to really showcase our capabilities for the gaming industry and now metaverse going toward that, especially with AR, VR mixed with immersive experiences. And I think, a lot of the conversations we've had with gaming is security and the focus on that and the huge importance of keeping their organization secure and to protect ultimately their money. So that's kind of like a high level at first what I've been seeing a lot of.
Erec?
Give me the question again. How was it? Is that what you're asking
How has
me?
your week been? Yeah, I mean, you've been in a lot of meetings even outside of the show with various customers and partners and so forth. What's your take on it?
I'm going to take it a different direction first, and then I'll get there. I promise. Okay. I walked the floor, and this is my second year, and I can tell you that I don't know a more individual experience where people are so incredibly creative across the spectrum of human existence. There's just so many interesting and creative people here. It's a treat to be in everyone's presence, honestly. And as we're getting back to being in front of people professionally, boy, is there a better way to do that than with this kind of audience and the attendees here. It's been fantastic as far as that goes. And you walk around every corner and you see something that kind of delights you or makes you laugh. I think it's unique to this convention. I think it's unique to the population that attends. And it's a happy experience. I've enjoyed a ton of it. As far as customer meetings go, things have changed in the last couple of years.
Sure.
I notice, and I'm not even talking about Lumen right now, but I'm just talking about the way people are interacting about the things that we do for a living. And they're having different kinds of conversations with us and our partners kind of at scale now, and that's been an exciting change to see.
Right.
I think just going around, it's such a large venue, right? And then you're taking meetings off the Moscone Center and coming back and forth. And it's been, a great experience of everybody kind of bonds over that, I would say. And then, to your point of you turn one corner and this is such a different type of gaming that you get to see.
Let me ask you this. We've got obviously the very large developers, Unreal, Unity, Meta, and so forth. But you and I have chatted, and you talked about all of the startups that are here that are trying to make an impression by coming to a show like this. When you talk to them about whether it's security or infrastructure and so forth, what do they really need? How could Lumen help the startup in the same way that we always talk about some of these larger vendors?
Yeah, definitely. I think what Lumen's capabilities are at its core is, our connectivity. We're able to help them, one, build the game, but also, that's great. Once they build the game, it's how do you publish or working with their publishers to be able to push out to their game on a global scale, I think is so key for them. But also, when you're doing it at such a large scale, you kind of, I think, have that cost effectiveness, right, to it to some extent. Like if you can like work it out for these small studios, because they want to get to that point where they're able to go viral, right? So they start exploding and like be able to like get, more money to then fuel other games that they're probably working on or wanting to work on after the next game. So what do you think, Eric?
I keep on going back to creativity here.
Yeah.
And the experience of walking around, meeting folks that are bringing a new game to market, developing a new game, looking for funding. The entrepreneurial spirit is alive. And in this industry specifically, it's so refreshing to hear people hustling and bringing something that is their creative baby to a group of people that appreciate the work they do and the art they bring to the business of gaming has been, and it always is very specifically special for me to see.
Well, you talked about in our opening about what Lumen, talking to customers and others about what Lumen can do. I know we get people that come up and ask us, we know you do networking, but what else? And I've had conversations where we talk about some of the projects that myself within product innovation is working on, and you kind of get this look on your face going, I didn't know that you guys were even working on it. Can we talk more? What have you heard when somebody has approached you or you've been in a conversation to say, well, yeah, we certainly do network. We've got this massive network, have for a long time, low latency and everything else, but we also do X. What seems to have resonated more in terms of folks you talk to?
It really depends on where people are in the journey of their title,
right,
and what they're doing, and I mean that very literally. I think that early stage creatives are going quickly to the cloud, and once they achieve some sort of scale, then they might look at augmenting that experience with something else, an edge service, right? The big hyperscalers have done a good job of being an easy landing spot for early stage companies in this business to put a title and get it tested and get it out to their customers, the users and the gamers. I think that as the industry evolves and as we change our footprint and the way we face the industry, we're going to be able to bring more edge conversations to the earlier stage startups and the earlier stage folks that are bringing games to market. And as you go way up market and talk about the big guys, they've dominated a space using cloud technology, and I think that timing is right for people to think more about slaying latency for their massive multiplayer customers and users. Yeah. We can help there, and I think that those conversations have changed drastically in the last year. The way we approach customers and talk to them about user experience and our edge helping that has been pretty cool, enjoyable.
And I think within all the partners, we had Spearhead Consulting on, and some of the other folks that we're talking to, like Surreal Events and so forth. I think it seems incumbent for us, and we're doing this, once we understand the challenge, the total addressable problem of the gaming industry, is for Lumen to actually find those individual companies to co-develop whatever we're co-develop. I think we're not in this. We're not in this by ourselves, and I don't think it makes sense for us to be in it by ourselves.
You saw me take 5 minutes worth of notes, and one of the words or phrases I put down here was partner ecosystem, and it's been an incredible experience just sitting with these guys and listening to you have conversations with our partners about what they do for these clients and the population here. Man, we're only going to succeed if our partners succeed, and the conversations we can have with anybody that's attending this event that has something they're going to bring to market is elevated by the partners we're bringing to bear, right? We got security partners that are helping them secure their customers' information, their financial business, et cetera. We've got folks that can really take them from cradle to grave, from a life cycle management of their entire network infrastructure, the way that they provide that compute to their end users, GPU, et cetera. So we have had a great week of partnership. And I think this couch was a good example of it. Everybody was vocal. Everybody brought really interesting ideas out, and the customers reacted. Customers, the folks here. But it was nice to see crowds build up when our partners were helping us with these conversations. That was special.
Yeah. I think the sense of collaboration is awesome. Ashley, your take on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think collaborating with us in our innovation lab, it will definitely kind of push that needle forward, I think, in the gaming space. And also kind of a lot of, gaming kind of is the anchor. And like, if you talk about immersive experiences, AR, VR, MR, like all of that, right? It kind of crosses over into other industries too. So it's like, that gaming's foundation, but it's like, it can help in the medical field. It can help in like an engineering aspect or like a supply chain management. I know I kind of talked about that throughout the last year, and I can see so much value add within gaming to all these other industries. And I think it's kind of like getting everybody on board and utilizing the core technology that we have, and then sharing that and like kind of building a vision for all these other companies of like what you can really achieve and what benefits and cost savings and like other revenue that can come in, right? You can probably save money on trainings and things of that nature. You're able to have a more impressionable experience in those trainings and remember and retain. So you're not continually training people, right? There's a lot more hands-on experience that you are able to have. And I love that on a global scale, a micro scale, whatever that looks like for companies large and small. And I hope that, people kind of start catching on to that and like start being like leaning in a bit more of what we can do for them in that capacity.
And to that point, we hear low latency is important. Mm-hmm. We've heard a lot about GPUs and GPU as a service. Mm-hmm. When you guys have spoken to customers, vendors and so forth, what are the other things that you hear where you sort of get if Ashley, Erec, you could give me X, that would really be great. Does anything stick out above and beyond what we typically hear to you guys? Do you hear about security, for example? Do you hear about edge?
Security has been baked into every conversation we've had.
Right.
And, with the partner community we had here with us, those conversations went so well because we have folks that are really experts at not only just security, but they have domain experience in gaming as well, and that's been fun to watch. So I think that'll always be the answer henceforth, right? Security is part of every conversation we have, but the partners made it easier. GPU as a service was a massive part of our communications with everybody, and it was really focused on kind of that middle to late stage funded title, et cetera, people that are trying to bring something out for scale. That was interesting conversations across many, many different folks here. The other thing is something we're working on. It's still, I think, kind of nascent right now, but this metaverse as a service concept and how you stitch together the infrastructure required to provide a great and seamless service across platforms is something that lots of folks are working on. And I think that what we bring to the table from our edge platform really does enable that. I think the proof will be in the pudding about who really figures out the killer app that sits on the edge. And really, we have to, as I think Adam said earlier, metaverse is marketing.
Right, exactly.
It really does. I think the standards need to emerge, and I think that as they do, people will realize that an edge platform is a very good starting point for anything that has to touch a ton of gamers and users.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are the? This is your second GDC.
It is.
How many have you been to, Ashley? This your first? It's first.
My first.
So if you,
it's my first. So it's been fun.
So if you look forward to next year, the following year, what are the types of things that you expect to hear, especially from some of those startups, and then more importantly, what are the types of things from a Lumen perspective that you want to be able, when you meet with customers and partners, to be able to say, boy, over the last year we've done X, Y, Z. Here's where we think the use cases are. What does that look like? What is on your wish list?
Yeah, definitely. I think, it was the first question. Sorry, repeat that again.
If you look going forward,
expecting. Okay.
What do you expect to hear from those here that you spoke to in their progress? Mm-hmm. And then, more importantly, what do you expect to be able to tell them from a Lumen perspective that we can come to them with X offerings above and beyond what we already do?
Yeah, I think the availability for other people to get into more immersive experiences. You know, we were joking like metaverse is a marketing thing. I went to the GamesBeat conference last year, and the metaverse has been really around since the 90s, right? And it's just kind of evolved, and I think it's kind of, at its core is like, what are these like worlds going to look like? And I can see that being more applicable as more headsets become like widely available and used and integrated into daily life. So I see that kind of moving forward that way. I mean, you can't really go away from the core gaming, right? With like an Xbox or PlayStation of that nature, Nintendo Switch, whatever that may look like. But it's like I talked to somebody that they're like, that experience is going to be more used like an iPhone now. Like it's no brainer at this point having a smartphone. So they see it in like 15, 20 years being something. And so I can see in next year, it's kind of the next iteration of that.
Right.
Mixed with what that looks like for Lumen. It's like, we're going to have that infrastructure to really support them and be able to reach their global customers way easier than any other organization because of our footprint, but our technology that we're continuing to innovate go forward. So it's kind of going to be this more seamless experience for a gaming company to come in, utilize us to be able to just have a greater reach with the extremely low latency. So.
Yeah. Erec?
Well, I'll start with saying I'm excited to see home runs happen.
Yeah.
I come back next year and we see one of these guys in these booths over here at the big boy table.
Yeah.
And that's that. You peek behind the curtain when you come down the escalator. And you go, oh man, that's amazing. And I can't wait to see the new one next year. That's really exciting for me. Last year was so dominated by blockchain and distributed ledger in general, and just how to figure out putting that into my gaming world. And I hope that more of the conversations we have next year about not providing single services to single customers and, with one concept like blockchain and being such an enormous, important conversation to have at a place like this, but really stitching things together and become, I think somebody needs to emerge as a holistic provider to help the industry scale. Where we come from, and I'm getting to the second part of your question by giving you some marketing fluff, right? But who is Lumen, right? Where do we fit in this whole ecosystem is probably important to talk about. We're a network company at the core. Our DNA is a big global fiber footprint and the biggest IP network arguably on the face of the earth, right? That's where we come from. That's our pedigree. But and I'll just not say but, let me retract that and say, and that's very important to the gaming community and for a gaming experience. Having very rip and fast IP services and fiber to connect big data centers together is the heartbeat and the backbone of the gaming industry, in my opinion, right? We have changed, though. Lumen has changed. And I think that to get to the second part of the question, what conversations do we want to have? Man, if you take the partner ecosystem that is here and the partner ecosystem we work with and enable their services on our platform, our edge, it provides an incredible diversity of services that the gaming community can leverage to build scale, to build their infrastructure out, be able to store and compute things faster, closer to their end users. That's very interesting. How do we take what our partners do, the secret sauce that our partners have, and put it on that edge as well? That's the kind of stuff that I think will really change our profile in this industry. And that's where I hope we're going.
Yeah, I think the agnostic nature of how we operate as an organization, as you said, it started with network. Network is still the connective tissue to everything we do. But more importantly, what we can build on top of it to be able to tell a customer, we can give you ultra low latency, 5 milliseconds or better, all day long and twice on Sundays, as they say. But what if we also gave you the ability to collect data, analyze data, a GPU-enabled environment to do X, Y, Z? And if you still need to connect to public cloud, if you still have some things you need to do on-prem, that's fine. We're there to be able to help you with that, and we have a differentiator in that alone. I think approaching it that way from a use case, tell me what you're trying to do. And as we heard from Mimi Kashani from Hadian, she said the gaming industry will give you the most impossible tasks until you do it. I like that challenge. I like being able to come in and say, explain to me what you're trying to do, and let me help you. Let me help you get there, rather than, oh, you want to be in public cloud or on-prem, we can help you with that. And
this is maybe slightly askew off topic, but that's how our sales teams are being led today.
Right.
We're not selling commodities anymore. We're selling solutions to customers that need something interesting, and need something that they can't figure out either on their own or with a single partner. It's all about ecosystem here, and making sure that a partner community is working to bring something together for a single customer. That's where the magic is right now in the space, I think, and it's very hard to do. We're pretty good at it, bringing customers and partners together, almost in a consultancy kind of format.
Yeah. Ashley, anything to add to that?
Yeah, as you were talking, I was thinking it's like Lumen comes from this perspective of like, we want to help you grow, right? Like our job is to like help you honestly make more money by utilizing technology to like really help that, and coming from a more as a consultant and utilizing our partners, and because we have so many great partners that sometimes you don't know what you don't know, especially starting a startup, and not to say that all these great engineers and technical people aren't knowledgeable, but it's you're starting a business from the ground up at its core, so having this extra help I think is so helpful for the startup community, especially in gaming, because you want to be, the most agile, resilient, organization, but also, you're trying to be very running very lean.
Yeah.
So from us, say you buy something from our core, our connectivity, let's start, as you're growing, laying things on top of that, so that you can utilize our partner ecosystem. You can have more opportunities without paying such maybe a large upfront fee or whatever it may be for them. So I really love our kind of approach to that, and what you were saying with being more of a consultant is definitely what we're doing over here at Lumen.
Yeah, and for me, just sort of in closing, I think for somebody that sits within that team, product innovation, that I tell people all the time, I get paid to daydream. Look at the technology, the mega trends that are out there, figure out how we can add the Lumen edge to that, pun intended, how we could add the Lumen platform component to it, and come up with a solution to meet a specific problem, not just tackle the types of things that everybody else is tackling, but to really be at the tip of the spear. And so to be at an event like this, to talk to individuals, to get some of those ideas, to say, I'm going to go back and I'm going to see if that's something that we can focus on, so we can eventually turn that into a product within this industry, I think has certainly been a fantastic week for me. Thank you very much, both of you, for attending. I think we're all on the same page in terms of what an awesome week it was. For those of you that have been following throughout the week, thank you for watching. We hope that you found this informative, the insights from partners and customers and so forth. And we will see you again at the 2024 Game Developers Conference. Thank you.